Uh, you know, we've had a goal of trying to get over 200 passes, and I just thought our ball movement tonight, we had a total of 223 passes without going back on the film. But we do have a grad assistant, Christian Murphy, that charts them every game and charts them at halftime. We had 113 at halftime and then ended up with 223, which is remarkable. We didn't know if we'd ever get to 200, but I thought our ball movement was fantastic. Obviously, Illinois State's extremely well coached, and they came out with a great game plan to start the game, and you know, they got hot. We weathered that storm, and certainly going on the road now at UCI, we gotta play better defense to start the game. But I thought our guys kept their composure and did a great job, and you know, it was a really good win for us for sure against a really good Illinois State team. Again, when you watch them play South Carolina, they were, you know, our antennas were up. We knew that if we didn't come to play tonight, that, you know, that they could get a win here.
Questions? They only had 4 offensive rebounds, and you guys had 19-0 second chance points. How important was that?
Well, you know, when we looked at statistically some things that we had to do, we you know, we talked to the team the last 2 days that we could not be close on the offensive glass. We had to dominate them. They play a lot of zone. Sometimes it's hard to defensive rebound out of a zone. And so we sent 5 guys to the offensive boards. A lot of times we'll send 4. Tonight we made an effort to send all 5 guys and not have anybody worry about backcourt responsibility. And, you know, I mean, this is one of those games where every guy that checked in contributed and played well. And you know, that's good for our chemistry or mojo or whatever you want to call it. You know, as we head out on the road, you know, it's our 4th road game now in a young season. So, and we're away from home for a little bit now over this stretch. So I think, you know, it was a good game for us to head out, you know, on the road and try to win games away from Lawler with another great crowd. And our student section's been incredible. It seems to just keep growing, and those guys, you know, all of our players feed off it, and I don't know, you got to ask Gus Arginal. Could have been.
Jordan came off the bench, you know, with
Yep.
and all that. I guess what kind of spark did he give you? Not the typical start that you guys get, but it seemed like once he came in.
Yeah, it was one of the hardest decisions that I've, you know, had to make since I've been here, just because, you know, I mean, his grandfather, you know, raised him, and it was an emotional, you know, time for him, and you know, he didn't miss any games. You know, he stuck with his teammates, and his mom was incredible talking to her, and so he had to miss 2 days to go back and spend time with his family, and we had 2 days of prep, and you know, sometimes you have to make decisions. You know, he wasn't punished or anything by any means. We told him to take as much time and I felt bad even today, you know, at shoot-around looking at him, but I mean, he knows how much we love him, and so, you know, his effort and intensity was, like it always is, through the roof. And him coming off the bench, we're not going to do it again, but we liked it.
Are you all surprised or pleasantly surprised how well he's playing so early in the season? Did you think there'd be kind of a transitional period this year?
We did, Joe, but like our huddles and stuff, it's like our guys just coach each other. You know, it's. I mean, if you can look in the huddles, you know, these guys are coaching each other. I mean, I'll say one thing, and then they'll start talking the rest of the huddle, and it's really neat. It's a mature group. We have a lot of leaders, different guys that lead in different ways, and it's making my job a lot easier. Just because in the past, you know, sometimes we felt like as a staff that we had to be the leaders because maybe guys were afraid to step out. It's hard to be a leader. It's hard to you know, to go at a teammate when a guy needs pushed a little bit, and these guys are not afraid of that at all. But the passing, I mean, it's, you know, we keep talking about it every day, and we start every single practice since we begun in September with NBA clips of ball movement. Even on game day. And we're going to relentlessly continue to talk about that because we feel like we have a lot of guys that are really good offensive players. And so sharing the ball is a big part of who we're trying to become.
They jump out to the 9-0 run. What do you think of your team's poise to very quickly get that back and not panic? It really didn't really seem like they panicked at all.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't. I was just thinking, how can we get the crowd involved? Because when the crowd gets involved, we go on these, spectacular runs. And then we did. Kendall got hot, got the crowd involved, got some enthusiasm in here. It's hard to cheer when you're down 9-0. And I thought those threes, kind of got the building rocking a little bit, and it our guys then feed off of that, and then our defense picked up. Cody moved over and defended Evans. We were switching a little bit more aggressively than we had been. And then on the weak side, when we switched, we double switched. So if we had mismatches and they cut through, and we would double switch to try to get equal size matchups. So that was really the only adjustment, other than we just continued to shoot the ball well.
Have you ever been a part of a game that started out with 8 threes, combined by the teams like that?
Maybe in the NBA, but on the wrong end of 8 in a row.
Is that your preference that the players kind of take ownership of the team and they're kind of guiding it?
Yeah, I think any coach that in any sport, you always want your team to be self-coached, and we always talk about buddy coaching, and when guys aren't on the floor in practice, echoing the play call, and we still have a lot of areas to grow for sure. Couple defensive lapses for 2 or 3 minutes, and our guys know it. We need to get into our offensive sets a little bit quicker than we have been. And we'll keep watching film. And the great thing about our guys is, they want to get better. That's the neat thing about this team.
They lost Yarbrough. Obviously got off to a really good start. How do you feel like that affected the game?
Yeah, Yarborough's a heck of a player. When you look at him with 19 free throws attempted against South Carolina, a team that was in the Final Four last year. They're really good. And obviously, I think their coach is a great coach. He's one of the best coaches in the country, and they win every year, and they're disciplined, but yet he lets them get out and run, and I thought that their offensive spacing when they had Yarborough was really, really good.
It seemed like you guys had a longer than usual meeting in the handshake line. I guess what was that?
No, he just said you got a really good team, and I'll leave it at that.
So you guys go out on the road for 3 straight games. You talked a lot about playing on the road more than really any of these teams in the top 100. I guess what made you want to do it? Was it just a financial thing, or?
No, it wasn't finances at all. Doug and Rory, and they basically let us do the schedule, and we couldn't ask for any more of team play with the schedule. I haven't been told since I've been here that we need to make X amount of dollars, or we can't do this. Basically they let us do what we feel is necessary, and then it's our responsibility to be, fiscal. But, Santa Clara was a road game that we had to go back because it was a home and home with no money exchanged. Pacific was a home and home, so we owed that. Irvine is a home and home. And then with Hawaii, it was a good financial deal, just because we didn't lose any money. It wasn't a guarantee where we were going to make a lot. But no, we did it because we feel like we have really good players, and the NCAA committee told us that there's more weight on road games, and so we were able to schedule. We had some games that we owed back, and then we were lucky to get really good team in Rhode Island and Davidson in here, and because of the way that the conference did it, we were lucky to play a really good Illinois State team, because they're going to beat a lot of people this year.
What's the potential of this team? Is it reaching its potential kind of different times or is it just kind of still scratching the surface?
I mean, I think that we can keep getting better. I mean, I think it's our job as a coaching staff. In the first 2 years, I felt like we kept getting better and better, every game. But I mean, to be honest with you, Joe, I mean, I mean, we these guys don't, but I feel, more, I don't know, angst, whatever you want to say, before a game. During the week, I feel a little bit more uptight than I have been. Because quite frankly, we're in a different state than we were. It's not anything we can't handle. I mean, but it's a different feeling, and but we'll keep getting better for sure.
Why more angst with a team that's good? Just
Because we feel like we can, we feel like we can win, and so, I mean, I feel it, but it's a good feeling too, because we, going back out on the roads, not fun. It's a challenge every time you got to go play in front of someone else's crowd.
Eric, it's a little easier when you go on the road to stay out for several days at a time. Does that make it easier on them, on you, not have to, fly around and make a bunch of trips?
I mean, again, what Doug and Rory, like, we had a meeting, about a month ago, like, were we going to stay in L.A. and then go from L.A. to Tech, and at the end of the day, we want to come back and let our guys go to class Monday morning, and so we're coming back Sunday basically for 17 hours or whatever to change our clothes and repack. But it was a decision that we collectively made, and you got to do what's best for the student athlete, and so we're coming back. I mean, it's an extra flight leg, but we feel like it was the best thing for our team.
This game states that when you do get a lead, you don't let teams back in the game. You kind of play as hard when you have a big lead as when you trade it. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, the one thing that we talked about at halftime, and we did say that we were going to demand it, was you better play your minutes, meaning you cannot cheat your teammates. Anybody sitting on the bench, they all deserve to play. And if you don't play with maximum effort, all you're doing is cheating one of your friends and one of your brothers. And I think they get that. I mean, we play till the end of the clock no matter what. And, it's a good feeling to have a competitive group that plays for 40 minutes and not 37 or 36 or.
Any more questions?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Questions for Jordan?
What's the last, 3 days been for you as you, lay to rest on your greatest influences and back to the team?
It's been tough, but team's been here team has been here for me, so have the coaches, so it made the transition easier.
What did your grandpa mean to you?
He meant the world. Like, he was my biggest idol. I looked up to him. He was my hero. Still is. So he meant a lot.
Is that something you were thinking about during the game, just trying to play for him and wanting to do that?
Yeah, I mean, he meant the world to me. Like, I named my son after him, so he's always in my thoughts and in my prayers.
Coming off the bench, different feeling for you here. I don't know what you did this summer in Illinois, but I guess what was that like to, maybe get a feel for it and then pop in?
I just try to give it a spark. Just come off the bench, just bring energy still. So I wasn't really too worried about it. Just did what I had to do.
So, not upset at all that your 40-game streak was broken or anything like that?
I didn't even know how to 40-game streak. I just found that out.
Yeah, it seemed like the passing was super crisp tonight. Less throughout the stat, whatever it was, how many passes. But why do you think it was a little bit, more crisp as far as moving the ball around and getting those great shots?
I think one reason, it helps when somebody's in a zone, so you have to move it more to get a look and see what's going on. I think that's what really helped, because after we got a couple reads, got into the zone, got to the middle, broke it down. So I think that's really what helped a lot.
30-point win, what does that tell you about how well you guys are playing right now?
We're rolling, but the thing is, I think we can get even better. I don't think this is our peak. I think we're just still rising. So it's good. Good to see we beat a good team by 30.
You guys do go out on the road here for quite a while. Must have challenged you guys with this schedule. I guess just what are your thoughts on going away from home and maybe what that'll mean in the long run for you guys?
I mean, when he put together a schedule, we wanted that. We wanted a tough schedule. We just didn't want an easy schedule. So we just got to go make the most of it.
You feel, Coach talked about it, and
Yeah, it's, everything. We think every game is extremely important. We have to win every game. Every game is like a Super Bowl to us. So I wouldn't necessarily say we have anxiety about it, but we know how important every game is.
Any more questions for Jordan? Thank you.
Say it again.
How big was it to win in such a dominating way?
It's always good, because they played early on. Remember, they played Boise State, so that's something. You play a team before, and if you beat a team by a lot, and then say another team in your conference plays the same team, you're gonna look at that score and look at how they are, just to kind of base off how they either played or, how much better the other team did, than you. But so we know people in our conference are gonna be looking at the score and looking at that kind of stuff, but. I mean, it's always good to, dominate a game on both ends of the floor, so it was good for us.
Did you look at that Boise State margin? I think it was like 20 or so and kind of say, we want to do better than that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we watched the game, and, we took kind of some of the stuff, like, we looked at some of the stuff that they did and, found some of their weaknesses, obviously it's just film. You take film from them playing other teams and see what, you find stuff that you need to go to, maybe new plays that we can figure out or what way hurt them in playing defense. So definitely Boise playing them was definitely, it's kind of a prep for us. So.
What did that first three by Campbell do? Down 9-0. I mean, did that really kind of calm things down a little bit?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, that kind of like broke them rolling a little bit because they were rolling and we were still trying to figure out, they were, like Coach said, they had good space, and so we were still trying to, we were kind of mixed up a little bit. So with Kendall coming down and hitting that three, it kind of shut the run down a little bit. Got our feet back under us and stayed calm, and it was steady from there.
You guys really haven't had a team come out like that, getting you 9-0. I mean, what was the poise of the team like?
I mean, now, before this game being like 6-0, you're gonna get everybody's best shot, especially straight out the gate. Everybody wants to come in. Everybody wants to break somebody's streak. If a team's undefeated, say if they were undefeated and we weren't, we'd want to break their streak. So you're gonna get everybody's best game. So, them coming out hot from the jump, it's expected. It's expected for teams to come in here and hit a lot of shots, and especially with a team like that, and their coach lets them play so freely. Like it's expected. So there was no reason or no point for us to panic. So.
What does it mean to you to be a part of a team that has matched the best start in basically school history in D1 basketball?
I mean, it's awesome. Nobody likes to lose. Everybody loves to win. So that's one thing that we're going to keep on doing. We're still trying to get better. Like Coach said, we still got a lot of stuff to work on, and we're still trying to figure stuff out. And that's from when Jordan wasn't even starting. For family purposes, but still, it's such a good sign that that we're 7-0 right now, and we're still trying to get stuff figured out, and it's a good thing. So.
What was the key to the ball movement? Why was it so crisp, and you guys are getting a ton of great shots?
We knew in their zone, whenever they play a zone, they're long and athletic, so it's hard for you to just sit there and stay stagnant and just swing the ball around the perimeter without in a zone like that. Their hands are so long, and they're so athletic. You got to get them kind of moving, set random ball screens and try to get into the gap so they'll crash, so we can open up our shooters. So just the ball movement had to be good, in order for us to get that many open threes.
17 of the first 27 threes in the game were made. Have you been part of a game where it just seemed like it was just back and forth with threes coming off the board?
I've been in a couple shootouts, I feel like, but like I was in I was in the huddle maybe early second half. I was like, man, I feel like this is probably the best shooting team I've ever been on, just because there's so many threats. Even guys who are classified as drivers, even like Jordan can step out and hit a three. We just got a lot of options around the perimeter. So it's good. Especially our dribble drivers, they open up a lot for Kendall and Hallis, and people come off the bench still, like everybody can shoot. So.
You guys playing a ton of road games in non-conference play, and you're going out for 3 in a row here. Did you do that at all at North Carolina? And is it more of a challenge with the non-conference schedule that have this so rugged moving all over the place?
It's definitely hard. Like Coach said, always going on the road is hard. It's hard to go in an environment, especially now with the record we got, going into another environment. It's going to be a hostile environment probably, and people want to break your streak, and it's definitely even harder on the road. But going on the road is always hard. You know, you don't have your crowd behind you, and, you know, you got to figure out, you got to pull that, you know, you got to have that motivation within each other to keep each other going and stay focused. And see, it's even harder, like, when somebody comes out with a 9-0 start on the road. That's, you know, it's hard to say, like, that's hard to overcome. So you got to just definitely stay poised and calm the whole entire, from the jump. So.
You like those challenges, though, as a team, just to see?
Yeah. I mean, it lets you know where your team's at. It lets you know what kind of players you got on your team, whether, like, people, you know, are likely to fold in big situations or, you know, likely to step up to the plate. So, you know, those are good learning points for us early on. So we need those.
Have you ever been on a team as unselfish as this one?
Yeah. I mean, I think it just has to do with I mean, obviously, like with teams I had before, there's always a lot of guys that it just depends on the people around you, you know. But this group of guys that we have right now is just our chemistry clicked from the very jump, and I just think that from us, if y'all don't really get to see us off the court, but we hang out all the time. Like, we're in each other's rooms all the time. We're watching a movie. Watched a movie last night, Home Alone. It's near Christmas, so we watched that last night. But you know, we just have so much team chemistry, team bonding off the court. I mean, it just translates onto the court, as y'all can see. Just the passing, like, we got so much trust in each other. Whether you're a shooter, whether you're a driver, whatever. Like, everybody's got a lot of trust, and, you know, we love each other. We all brothers, so we don't mind making the extra pass. We don't mind who looks good or who's got the most points this game, who's got the most rebounds this game. Like, we all want each other to do well. As long as we win, we all cool.
What's your favorite part of Home Alone?
Favorite part? That's a hard one. That's a lot. I think we watched the first one. Probably. Let me see. Probably the ice on the steps when he slips early on. Probably that one.
Home Alone 1 or Home Alone 2?
It was one, I think.
Which one do you like more?
I like the original. I gotta go with one. You know.
Any more questions?
Go home.
Hey, get on him because he said he didn't like Home Alone.
I mean, I ain't say it was bad. It just wasn't all that.
First time you saw it?
Nah, my mom is into all those movies, so I saw it when I was young. I haven't seen it in a while, though. I should probably catch up. But yeah, to be honest, the last time I saw it was like 5th grade, and so I didn't pay too much attention. But
Well, bad taste in movies.
yeah, I know.
I mean, they did come out on fire, and then you really answered them. How important do you feel like, you know, to come back and, you know, stem that lead at 9-0 and, you know, give the crowd something to cheer for?
Yeah, definitely. It was big, man. Just you know, like you said, them hitting us in the mouth, it just showed the maturity. You know, we didn't panic. We still executed, and, you know, we just got a lot of weapons that we can use, you know, to counterbalance runs that they do. And that's what we did well, and that's what, you know, March Madness teams do, is you got to, you know, weather storms. You got to be able to bounce back and be mature.
What's the feeling like after such a dominating win like that?
You know, it's rewarding, but at the same time, you don't understand how focused Coach Muss is and how good he is at you know, keeping the team focused and you know, the eye on the next game. And as a group of players, you know, us not being ranked, you know, this past week it hurt. You know, it really motivated us. Obviously, it doesn't matter, but it does. You know, to us it does. We want recognition for our school. You know, we got a lot of transfers coming here, and, you know, we really wanted to represent Nevada well. And so, you know, we're not happy with where we are. You know, we definitely know that we can have a special team, but, you know, the focus that we have, taking each game one day at a time, is what it's going to take, and I think that's what we have.
How important is that ball movement to your game? Because, I mean, you are kind of a spot-up shooter.
Right.
You know, you have guys that can get you balls open.
Yeah, it's everything, man, because like you said, I'm not, you know, bringing the ball up down every time. So, you know, ball movement is just the best way to keep everybody in a rhythm. You know, even the bigs. You know, bigs aren't going to run the floor hard and defend if you don't throw them the ball and you know, let them get some touches, just as anyone would. So today was a good bounce back. You know, we only had 8 assists in Hawaii, so Coach made it a big emphasis the last few days, and, you know, we responded well.
What does it do for your game when a guy like Caleb is just knocking down 3 after 3 and you're getting it? I mean, what does that
Right.
do to kind of build momentum?
To be honest, it's going so fast. I mean, if we don't have a good shot, we're kicking it to someone else who does. And having that many threats, your team gets into a zone. You feed off each other. You play harder on defense. The bench gets involved. So it's a lot of things that plays into it when you have, like you said, there's a couple guys that gets hot. It's contagious, and it's just fun to play with.
You got your stroke back.
Yeah.
So it would mean a lot to you guys to be ranked? Because I know some of the guys and even coaches, like, they poo-poo it a little bit. But it's
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, definitely. It means a lot. Obviously it's just a number. You still got to prove yourself, but, being ranked means that people respect you. They're thanking you or rewarding you for your efforts. And for us, I was being on Purdue, and, a couple of our seasons we was ranked before our first game. So, and even the Twins played on ranked teams, and I think Hollis did too. But, earning your ranking and starting the season off not ranked, it just means that much more, especially for a university like this who, like you said, doesn't have a lot of, success in basketball. We have decent tradition, but just lately hasn't been there. So we just want to be consistent and build off last year.
Did you play this many road games ever at Purdue in a season?
Right. That's a good question, man. At least not in this short period of time. Of course, being in a Power 5, you get a lot of teams that come to you. But, Coach Muss wasn't lying to us, in the summer when he said that our schedule was going to be the real deal. But we just respond well with challenges. Coach Muss makes every game seem like it's a Super Bowl, which it is, but he knows how to break it down and motivate you as well as the team. So we just got to carry it over. I just not get too, satisfied with this win, but definitely, keep the confidence rolling.
Do you think, or why do you think this team deserves to be ranked?
I think just because of how deep we are, how versatile we are, and just how we're able to win in tough environments. I think if we continue to win on the road, Texas Tech is going to be a huge game for us. But, once we handle Irvine, we really just need to keep building each time. But like I said, just handling, games in tough environments, breaking runs on the road, things like that, that's what separates ranked teams from average teams.
Any more questions?
Appreciate it.